Okay, good morning, Gelser National Area and friends. Hey, we're doing a hangout this morning, a little bit different than normal as we usually do a phone call for the Cadillac call. And look at them. Don't they look so pretty? We were all impressed with each other about how pretty we got because we had to be on camera this morning. So that is the upside of doing a hangout rather than a call, is that we all get up and presentable earlier than usual on a Tuesday morning. I do anyway. And so I'm so excited because today we have a special guest. And my national sales director, who has since died and gone to heaven, was Joanne Cunnington. And so she always said, in your training, keep keep your finger on the pulse of your unit. Okay. And so she was not a proponent of having like a 12-week course of having training. And not saying that that's a bad thing. Everybody can do things their own way. And I know a 12-week course of training can be very helpful in making sure that your consultants get all the training that they need over and over again. I understand that. But she would not have done that because she always said, why are you going to talk about coaching in your schedule when they don't have any bookings? And so Marni and I got to have a conversation on Saturday morning, and we had a conversation, and part of that conversation was Marni was really learning to maximize, not learning, but focusing her attention on maximizing her time. Because as most of you know, she and Brian have made the decision this past year that Brian would quit his corporate job and be home to work the Mary Kay business with Marni and to raise their children together. And so Marni is the sole income provider for her family. And so she really wanted to really get tight and back in the field on her parties, as she has offspring 4 directors in the last 18 months to look for her new leaders. Okay. And so she really developed a process for not only booking these parties, but holding these parties. So what I've been hearing in the national area is we are getting bookings, like you guys are booking, yet the cancellation rate seems high. And so as I was thinking about this and actually talking to Karis, probably the director that's the closest to my heart, I was like, we've got to have some training on what can we do better. We can't control other people. What can we control in our coaching skills? Okay. So Marni's going to share that today. But before she gets on, and remember, your red jackets are invited to watch this hangout. So if you didn't get that memo, you can text them right now that they can watch this and send them the link. And just so you know, Google Hangouts are always recorded while happening, and it's the same link so that you can send this to them. And you know what, guys? I'm giving you permission that even if your people aren't in red, but they are holding parties and they want to move forward, that you give them this hangout as well. Okay. All right. So we're going to do some recognition. First of all, recognition for the week. So thank you to all the sales directors in the Gelser National area who turned in their numbers. Parties held last week. The goal is 3. We had Trisha and Becky hold 2 personal parties. Personal faces seen over 6. Jamie Lopez had 8. Becky had 9. Trisha had 9. And Kate had 11. New bookings booked. The goal is 5, right? Jamie Lopez had 5 new bookings and Trisha Bless has 8 new bookings. Sales over 500. Tracy right at 500. Lopez at 655. And Becky with 845. That's exciting. Personal career chats over 3. Karis had 3. Trisha and Becky had 4. And Jamie Lopez had 5. Unit faces over 6. Lopez had 8, Trisha had 9, Becky had 9, and Kate had 12. Unit interviews over 5. Lopez had 5, Becky had 5, and Karis had 13. New unit members, well, Karis had 1 and Jamie had 2. And now parties scheduled for this week, leading the way with the magic number, Trisha Bless has 5 parties scheduled for this week, okay? So now for the monthly recognition, our goal is 75 new unit members this month. Right now we have 8. So congratulations to Brandy Lampman, Jamie Lopez, Karis Foreman, and Tammy Clout, who all have 1 new unit member, and the Trisha Bless units and the Heidi Gelser units, who have 2 new unit members. Our goal for bracelet earners, because our bracelet says passion, And none only than our very own Nikki Hill was the one that they took her story for passion on the Mary Kay In Touch website. And so we're all going to have our passion bracelets to show Nikki at seminar. Our goal is 75. Are you excited about that number? What is your unit goal for bracelet earners? What is your unit goal for Star, you guys? Star ends in 3 days. Remember that 5 stars is a $300 bonus, and every star after that is $50. You want to be watching where you're making your money in Mary Kay. So if you haven't checked those numbers for a couple of days, check them again and reach out to the people who are communicating with you to really work with them to get to that star consultant bonus level. Okay. Let's see with product. So we have 7 600s in right now, and we're going to be putting that out on Facebook today if it hasn't already been out there, the recognition for the area members who already have their bracelets earned. Okay. And the goal for that is 75 passion bracelets earned. That is one of my favorite words. And so we're excited about that. Production over 2,000 right now, and 5,000 is the goal. It is not over with Star, my friends. Oh my goodness. And you had a lot of people sign on the last day of the month in February. You want to watch those numbers because their bonuses end on the 14th or 15th. So be watching that so that they can get their bonuses for being qualified. Okay. So with 2,000 wholesale or higher, and we've got Karis, Jamie Lopez, and Trisha Bless. With 4,000 or higher, we have brand new mama of baby number 5, Tammy Clout with little Olive. And then with 8,000 or higher, we have the Nikki Hill unit. Now with unit qualifieds, remember it is a super important month to get that bonus with the 4 qualifieds, especially if you got it last month, right? You get that retail credit towards your unit clubs. And so with qualifieds right now, we have Jamie Riley with 1 and Jamie Lopez with 1. We've got the qualifieds with that. The Jamies are leading the way with that. Remember, when you have 4 qualifieds or higher with the most production, not only do you earn $400 from Mary Kay and beyond, you also earn an L Sparkle bracelet from me, okay? And the highest production and unit qualifieds gets a coaching call with LaRonda Daigle. And let me tell you something, you guys, she's on it. Like LaRonda is on it. She is on fire. She has got her brain like on track, like she was when she was the #1 director in all of Mary Kay. All right. So believe me, you want to earn, LaRonda. Seriously. Okay, so now we are going to move on to our speaker. And the reason I have other people in the corners is because I thought they would be a good mix of people who are booking parties and holding parties and have consultants who are doing the same, so that if they have any questions about this, Marni, they can speak for all of you. In fact, if you do have any questions though, directors, you might want to have your Diamond Circle Voxer open so that you guys can ask the questions that are on for that. Okay, let's see. I think that's it. All right, so I'm going to introduce, I don't have her official accolades. I'm so sad. I mean, I'm so sorry, Marni. I mean, we're like friends. And so I didn't ask you for your official accolades. I didn't ask you for anything. I just said, can you please be on this Hangout and train our national area and everyone who's interested in how you held. This is what she did last month. She held 7 parties with an average of about 6 people per party. Her sales from her party were $34.30 total just from her party. She also had reorders and facials and things. And so she sold, her average was $490 per party. Who could get excited that their party average is $500? Okay, so she's gonna give you the rest of those stats. What I do know and love about Marni is that she did start her business while in college, as she says, very much of a tomboy at the age of 21. And she earned her first pink Cadillac at the age of 22, you guys. Wow. She currently has 4 offspring sales directors. You guys, 4 offspring sales directors. And she is constantly on the lookout for building more leaders because that is her passion. You know, her passion is that people can live out their God-given abilities to feel beautiful about themselves inside and out, and to truly be making a living with this Mary Kay, and also a life. You know, that's what you are all about, Marni, is having a life. As most of you know, she has 4 beautiful daughters, 1 son, and 1 more little boy on the way. And so this busy, beautiful, professional mom entrepreneur is going to be our speaker. And what I love most about Marni, well, there's many things, but you know, in a nutshell, Marni, I love your hunger to learn. I love your hunger to be better. And when we do have a conversation, you are quick to take what you need from it and move forward. And that's the sign of a leader. So please welcome my friend, also my mentor, a person who trains me, future executive senior sales director, Marni Hendricks. Woohoo!
Yay! Thank you guys. So I have like poured my heart and soul into what I'm going to share with you guys today. And these are things that I have worked on for like the last 3 months. So yeah, I'm excited to share with you guys just a little bit about my process on how I've been coaching and pre-profiling my parties and how my mindset has changed, and therefore how my results have changed also. So I want to share with you guys what my parties looked like in the past. So I've always been very strong in my personal business. I've always really taken it seriously that as a sales director, it's my job to really know the pulse of my unit. And when there are not leaders arising and when the pulse is down, I've really always known when it's time to jump in and work my business personally. And so in the past, when I was brand new at Mary Kay, I was like a faces pro. Like I did a lot of one-on-ones. I did a lot of, double facials and so on. And that really built my confidence as far as learning about the products and presenting about the products goes. And then as I became more comfortable with, the one-on-one facials and double facials, I did start holding parties. And I was consistent on and off with holding parties for, like 10 years. And, but what I would find was that I did have cancellations. The Mary Kay average is 1 out of 2 appointments we actually book actually holds. And I was definitely experiencing that. I was finding that I was showing up to my parties, and a lot of times it was like the hostess +2 or the hostess +3. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But during this season of my life, with having 5, almost 6 babies and learning a newer role of mentoring offspring sales directors while still being a sales director and then also being a beauty consultant, my mantra during this season is that I want to maximize my moments. I want to maximize my moments. And so in November, when I made the decision that I was going to get back into the field, not gonna lie, with my pregnancies, I am like not the most pleasant pregnant lady. So like I kind of made the decision that if I was going to set aside a night in my calendar to hold a party, I wanted to maximize that moment. I wanted to maximize that experience for myself and for the hostess also. So I realized that a big thing that was slipping through the cracks in my business was coaching and pre-profiling my parties. So in the past, when I was getting, 1 out of 2, cancellations and about an average of 2 to 3 people, the hostess +2 to 3 at my parties, I would book the party from the party, and I would have little communication with my hostess up until the party. And maybe a day or 2 before, I would text my hostess and I'd be like, hey girl, are we still on? Does the day still work for you? How many people are you expecting? Okay, great. Super excited to see you. And that was it. And then I would show up and pray people were there and totally be flying by the seat of my pants and would make the most of, whatever was there. And also what I found with doing that is I was giving away free product without properly communicating with my hostess what she needed to do to earn that free product. So, for example, if I promised her $100 of free product to have 2 to 3 family members or friends that don't already have a Mary Kay consultant that are over 18. So if I promised her that but didn't like properly communicate that they had to be over 18 and didn't have a Mary Kay consultant, I found myself still giving that free product because I didn't want to not be a woman of my word. And I knew it was on me not, you know, properly communicating up front. So, okay. So anyway, now, so since November, I have put this process into the mix, and I had one solid party in November, in which I got bookings for my bookings, but everyone that wanted to book didn't want to hold their party until January. And I was fine with that because at the end of November, early December, my personal focus goes on my holiday open house. So I was totally fine when they were like, okay, I want to book these parties in January. So I can honestly tell you guys, since the end of November, I have not had one cancellation. Isn't that crazy? I have not had one cancellation. So in December, I was not actively like in the field holding parties because I was so active with just on the go holiday selling. So since January though, I can honestly tell you that I've probably seen 100 faces since January 1st and haven't had one cancellation. I've had a couple where, you know, I said to my husband, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I might have my first cancellation. The hostess isn't playing ball with me. And then as I would keep communicating with her, all of a sudden she's like, yep, we're on. I'm like, okay, sweet. So literally, I have so many people showing up. Like Heidi said, my average now is like 6. And I have so many people showing up, like more parties than ever where I have 10 people, that I have had to learn how to build relationships with 10 people in a 1 to 2 hour time period, because building close relationships in which they love the products and want to book again with 10 people is a totally different experience and process than 2 to 3 people. So, okay. So just some other things I want to share with you guys just about like my mindset when it came to developing this process. So as I am in the field today, I am so reminded that today's world is drastically different than even 12 years ago when I was working on my first set of 100 faces. Today's world is so different. And by that, you know, there's so many more direct selling companies out there. I don't know about you guys, but when I log into my Facebook newsfeed, I feel like it's just somebody selling something and somebody trying to recruit someone to sell something. And so now more than ever, I believe that it is crucial that we build our business on creating experiences for people. I believe that we build our business by creating lifelong lasting relationships with people. And in today's world, I believe that people now more than ever, they want to be heard. They don't want to be scripted. They don't want to be sold to. They want to be heard. And, you know, I also believe that we must work hard every single day, every single follow-up, every single purchase that a customer makes with us is an opportunity for us to earn their trust again and to earn their loyalty again. Because as what I'm finding is that in today's world, there's not as much loyalty, which is really sad. I also believe, my Mary Kay friends, that we represent each other. We together are Mary Kay. So just know that, you know, if I run into one of your customers at a party and she tells me how much she loves you and how much, you know, she loves the fact that you are spoiling her rotten, I love that. I celebrate with her that she is using Mary Kay and she is being serviced. And I think it's really powerful that as Mary Kay sisters, we do that for each other because together we represent each other. I also believe that in today's world, home parties that are done right are still in. One thing I hear, a limiting belief I hear people say is that people don't do parties anymore, or if they are, they're not done right. And I wholeheartedly believe that home parties that are done right are still in. I want to share a story with you guys. So I don't know about you, but I get several invites to different direct selling companies parties. And now it's been 5 times that I have received a Facebook message from a friend, 5 different friends, where they are inviting me to participate in another direct selling party. And the wording that the person has used to invite me is the exact same. Word for word, it is the exact same. And the first 2 times I was like, okay, that is interesting. Maybe a coincidence. But then it happened 3, 4, 5 times. And I'm like, okay, that feels a little impersonal. And I think it's something that as we share processes in the Mary Kay world, and as we're teaching our consultants and sharing wording, that we do need to be in tune to, because again, people don't want to be scripted. Being on the other end of that, it felt extremely impersonal, and it was kind of a turnoff. I did not end up participating in any of the parties because I'm like, whatever. I kind of felt like a number, and we don't want to make people feel like a number. We want to make them feel like they are the most special person on this planet. So when I was in November sitting down and kind of creating like this process, I sat down and I asked myself, how would I want someone to approach me if I was going to host a party? How would I want someone to approach me if I was going to host a party? I also asked myself, what would motivate me to host a party? What type of experience would I want to have if I were going to host a party? How would I want to be treated? And how would I want my guests to be treated? So in asking myself these questions, it really gave me some clarity on every single detail of the party process, from how I wanted my communication to look with the hostess, to how I wanted my invites to look, to the experience that I wanted my guests to have as I was meeting them for the first time at the party, to the experience that, you know, I wanted people that weren't coming to the party, that I wanted them to have, to still be, you know, able to take advantage of specials, and if they weren't being serviced by a consultant already, being able to, you know, make them feel like I was there for them if they were wanting an independent beauty consultant. So, okay, so let me share, you guys, let me kind of start digging deeper into what this process looks like. So my mission with it is that every single detail of it just screams, this is where the I personality comes out in me, sorry friends, is every single detail of it screams fun. Like, I wanted people to get the invites in the mail and be like, oh my gosh, this looks so fun. Like, I cannot miss out on this. So, okay. So I have this binder, and organization is not something that is in the past been a natural gift of mine. But what I was finding is I had so many different parties going on with the different hostesses being at different parts in the coaching and pre-profiling process. So I needed to like distinguish like where they were in the process so that, again, I could maximize my moments. So in my binder, I literally have just 5 tabs. So it's just a binder, 5 tabs. So the first tab, so I'm going to share with you what the 5 tabs are, and then I'm going to share what happens in each step of the process. So the first tab is my date in progress. Date in progress tab. Second one is the guest list in progress. So date in progress and guest list in progress. Third one is party in progress. Post party in progress is the fourth one. And then the fifth one is completed parties. So date in progress, guest list in progress, party in progress, post party in progress, and then completed parties. Okay, so as I'm sitting down and booking, and in my binder, I have these little party planning sheets. Now, some of these are just random ideas I came up with, you guys, but I definitely don't want to take credit for all of this. This party planning sheet, Kristen Sharp has an awesome version. I've seen other versions of it. So anyway, just don't want to take like credit for all this stuff. So anyway, these party planning sheets, and you guys should all have those all of these visuals that I'm going to share. So I have these sitting next to me as I book my parties. And the moment that I get a yes, I start a party planner sheet. So the moment I get a yes, I start a party planner sheet. I just write the hostess's name right up top. So then I put them in my first tab, which is the date in progress. So I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of times as I'm booking that I will get someone that says, yes, I'll host a party, but we don't have a date finalized. And in the past, I have sometimes let those people fall through the cracks. I'll maybe follow up with them a couple times, but then when they're not playing ball, I'm kind of just like, okay, move it on. So, but once I get the yes, I have them in that tab. So it's just a constant reminder to continue that follow-up. And sometimes it does take 3, 4, 5 times of gentle follow-up, again, with a service mindset, not like a pushy mindset, to get them to host a party. So as I am, doing that follow-up with these people, I'll be honest, I don't have them in like a 21-day challenge where they're automatically being followed up with every 3 days or whatever. I just kind of feel it out. I feel out the what I know is going on in their life. So for example, I have one person, Miss Morgan, in my tab right now where she said yes. We kind of started bouncing around dates. And then she is at her friend's wedding in Jamaica right now. She's on vacation for like 10 days. So obviously I'm not going to be following up with her every 3 days. So I kind of feel out what I know is going on in their life. And, yeah, so I kind of feel it out. I don't have like a actual system for like when I follow up with them. But what I can tell you guys is that so my kids, they go to a little Montessori school on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So those are my like focus days to work my business. So what I can tell you that is what's worked for me is working on my parties. Like this binder it gets the first of me when my kids go off to school. So what I was finding as I was adjusting to my role of being a senior sales director and being a sales director is that my passion is to build leaders and my passion is to work with leaders. But what I wasn't making a priority and what I wasn't making time for was communicating with people out of the Mary Kay world. So I know for me, like I naturally want to communicate with my Mary Kay sisters. So just knowing that about myself, the communication with and follow up with people out of the Mary Kay world has had to become a priority of mine because I'm going to naturally communicate with my leaders and up and coming leaders. Because again, that's like where my greatest joy is. So, okay. Once I not only have the yes, but the date then is picked, then I put them in my guest list in progress tab, guest list in progress. So you guys should each have like this little breakdown that kind of explains what my binder process. So we're basically on section 2 right now, the guest list in progress. So once I have the yes, the date is planned, then I start communication in layers. And again, I don't want to necessarily share like actual scripts with you because again, in today's world, I believe people want to be conversed with. They don't want to be scripted. So, but I do want to give you the key points. So I take this in layers. So once I have the yes, the date is picked, then I let her know that I'm so excited and I'm going to start working on invites. And so I ask her to complete this hostess survey. And on the hostess survey, I have 4 questions. How long have you used Mary Kay? What's your favorite product? What is one skincare or makeup step you won't leave the house without doing? And what do you love most about being an MK customer? So my mindset behind that was, so at my parties, I've been doing a lot more of really getting to know them and doing a lot less talking about myself. So I wanted on my invites for them to have an opportunity to see me and see my family and get to know me a little bit and to also get a sneak peek on why the hostess loves Mary Kay. Because truthfully, people are going to show up. People are going to become like most likely loyal customers of ours, and they're going to trust us at that very beginning because their friend trusts us. So this hostess survey, what I have found is it almost like establishes that first level of trust along with them getting to know me on the invite. So I'll explain that in a second. Okay, so I asked her to complete this hostess survey. Now I do want to share a side note with you guys. So, and I want to ask a favor. So on all of these materials, I have worked like with focus to make sure that they are like Mary Kay legal approved. If you see anything that you're like, Marni, that's not legal, I'm just gonna ask that you reach out to me personally and let me know because in no way, shape, or form would I ever want to have material out there that is not legal approved. So please reach out to me personally if you see anything. You will not hurt my feelings. I will be thanking you up and down. Okay. So again, in the guest list in progress, I get the hostess survey. So once she sends that back to me, then I let her know that I'm going to start working on completing the invites. And I let her know I'm going to make 15 of them up. And I give her ideas on who she can invite. Friends, family members, coworkers, moms of her kids or her friends' kids who don't already have a Mary Kay consultant and are over 18. And then again, I don't want her to feel like any pressure when it comes to this party. So I let her know that it's not a problem if she invites more or less than 15. Since I have done this, so since I've kind of let my hostesses know, like I'm going to make up 15 invites. So do your best to come up with 15, friends, family members, coworkers, moms of your kids' friends, that don't already have a Mary Kay consultant and are over 18. Every single hostess except 2 have come up with at least 15 names. One of them came up with 12 and actually 10 showed up. Crazy. And then another one came up with 6 and she had 4 show up, her plus 4. So again, I just don't want them to feel like there's any pressure on them to come up with a certain amount of names. Okay, so then if I'm finding that, okay, she sent me the hostess survey, I have the invites prepared, I've let her know I'm going to prepare 15 of them. And if she's not being responsive within a few days in sending me her guest list, I will send her a picture of the invites, and I will say the invites are all ready to go. I'm so excited, and I'll show her like the write-up about her. I'll show her, I put, you know, little samples in them. So that's one thing I'll sometimes do to kind of just give like a friendly reminder, like, hey, waiting on your guest list whenever you're ready. I have been booking my parties at least 2 weeks in advance, at least. Sometimes it's like 3 weeks. I've even had like 4 weeks in advance. That was a big shift for me. Before, I would book a party 1-2 weeks max in advance. And I've really wanted to give myself enough time to communicate with her, get these things out. So that's been a little bit of a shift. Okay. So once she sends me the guest list, a lot of times she'll either text me names and addresses, or she will take a picture of them. Just, you know, on a random sheet she has at home written down. I don't have like a fancy like hostess packet yet that I give her, but that might be in the works. Brian's like, I think we need a hostess packet. I'm like, I think you're right. So bear with me while we're at the beginning stages. Okay. So once she sends me the guest list, then they go in the party in progress tab. So now, as you guys are following along, we're in section 3. Okay, so let me share with you guys what exactly goes in the invites. So first of all, I send them in the self-sealing cello bags from my girlfriend's house. So I want it to be so much fun for her to get that in the mail. So in there, I have the invite. So it's just a random pic collage Brian created. Again, there's no pictures of Mary Kay products. It does not say Mary Kay on it. So that is key when it comes to it being like legal. So it just says, you're invited, captivating color, powerhouse skincare, let the fun begin. Come have fun and get pampered. And then on the back, I just have the details of the party. Okay, so those print out in like on 2 on a page. So they come out to be like this size. That makes sense. You guys probably can't see the size on there. Okay, so that's the invite. The other thing that goes in their little package is the fun facts about the hostess, the Q&A, the hostess survey. And I always have like a picture of the hostess right on there, whether it's of her and her family, or I just find one on Facebook. And then on the other side, I just have like a little write-up about me. This picture serves as daily inspiration for me after my babies to get fit again. And it just has my vision and my mission through my business. So again, I want to like just introduce myself, because I'm not going to really talk a lot about myself at the party. And just I have to tell you guys, it's crazy. Since I have like really taken out my 5-minute eye story, people don't even care. They don't even ask. It's so funny. Like once in a while, someone at the end of the party will be like, so when did you start this? So funny. Anyway, and then I put a business card in the little packet. And the key is, if you're going to mail out samples in this, you want the samples to be flexible. So the first time you do this, I would encourage you to go to the post office and mail out your invites, because it might be 50 cents to mail out. If you do like a lip gloss sample, it might be like 72 cents to mail out. So if you do a flexible sample though, like a color card, it's going to be 50 cents to mail out. Just wanted to throw that in there. Okay. So, all right, we are in the party in progress. I hope you guys are bearing with me here. Whew. So in the party in progress, I have the guest list. Invites are mailed out. So now I will still find ways to communicate with the hostess to keep her excited. So a few days after the invites have gone out. So again, I don't really have like a specific 2 days exactly later. I work on this on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So if I mail the invites out on Thursdays, Tuesday comes around, I'm gonna text her and say, hey, did you get your invite? What feedback have you gotten on them from your friends? Have they loved opening them and trying the samples out? A lot of times I'll text her a picture of the invites going out and say, watch your mailbox. I will, if she's on, so if I'm getting a booking from a booking and she's started on skincare, a lot of times I'll follow up with her about her skincare in this process. Hey, by the way, how are you liking that charcoal mask? Sometimes I'll make it personal because again, there is sometimes a week that goes by where in between sometimes even 2 weeks when they're getting the invites and the party's actually being held, and I want to stay in communication with her. So sometimes I'll make it personal. So for example, I knew that one of my most recent hostesses, I knew that her and her family were going to Washington Island over the weekend. And I had communicated with her on Thursday. Tuesday came around. And so instead of making it about the party, I said, hey, how was your, I was thinking about you this weekend. I hope you guys had an awesome time in Washington Island. And she thought that was just so thoughtful. Okay, so then I want to share this with you guys. One thing I have found to work really well is anytime I am encouraging her to reach out to her family members or friends, whether it is to get their addresses or to find out if they're coming, I give her wording on what she can say to get their addresses. So I might say something like, here's some wording you can use to invite your family members or friends. I'm having this fun little girls' night out and I'd love to send you an invite. We're going to be doing a charcoal mask. Let me know what your address is or whatever. And then I always say, feel free to tweak it. So I do always offer her some wording that she can start with to get addresses and then again to find out who's coming. So when it is time to actually pre-profile the guests, I personally, so this is where you might take a different process than what I do, and that's totally fine. But I ask her if she wants to give me the phone numbers of everyone, and I can pre-profile them or, whatever, or I ask her if she wants to find out the information. What I was finding my first few times is when I would ask for people's phone numbers, my hostesses at first were very resistant to it. So yeah, sometimes then at that point they give me the phone numbers and then sometimes they're like, no, what information do you need to know? I'll find out for you. So then once we know who's coming, I actually got this idea from the director meeting a few weeks ago. Then I will send everyone a video of myself, less than a minute, of who's coming and give them a little quick intro of me. Let them know I'm so excited to see them, give them a sneak peek on what we're going to be doing at the party. So a minute or less. And if you do it a minute or less, it makes it way easier to send to via cell phones. Okay, so then guests are pre-profiled. I know who's coming. When I have the party all set up, I use the tent cards that now come in the starter kits with the person's name. Everybody has a placemat, a special spot for them with their name, and a gift waiting for them. And then you guys, after the party, anyone that can't come, I send them, so this is the post party in progress. Anyone that cannot come, I send them a little packet that has this $10 off coupon. So $10 off coupon, a catalog, and a business card. And then a lot of times in my post party in progress, I will be then beginning the process all over again with the parties that I have booked from the party. If anyone did not book, I send them a coupon very similar to this that just says like, hello and welcome. Like, I'm honored to be your beauty consultant. Enjoy $10 off your next purchase, kind of a thing. Okay. And then at the way end, I put them in my completed parties because those are all names. And a lot of times by that point in the process, I do have some of their phone numbers, or I've found them on Facebook. Those are all like literally referrals that I can just keep building, you know, relationships with. So, okay, you guys, that is, for the most part, the process. Heidi, was that okay?
Yeah, I'm so glad we did this on a Google Hangout. I'm so glad this is recorded. Thank you for the time and mental energy and thought process you put into this. So we're going to open it up. I have a couple questions, but I bet these directors might be asking them already. And so, okay, guys, just go ahead, take over with whatever questions. Nikki, you have a question there?
Affirmation. So good, Marni. You know what? When I moved to Michigan, I was having the same issues of parties holding, and I went back, and I haven't done it since I moved to Houston, which is a sin. When I moved to Michigan, I did invitations in the mail. And now I'm being lazy and saying, here's a text pic collage, text it out to your people. And it's not the same. But when I was in Michigan, I was rocking and rolling my 30 faces, doing parties all the time because of those invitations. And just your tidbit of the bio of her, the bio of you, making it so personal. I loved what you said. Is it just, you know, we're all doing this. We're pre-profiling. We're doing these things, but just those little tweaks of making it fun. I loved what you said. Details scream fun. And I think that's what I was missing. I'm making it so boom, boom. Here's your pic collage. Text it out. Boom, boom. It's not fun anymore. And nobody gets invitations in the mail anymore either. I love it. And I love your details. I know you're such a high I personality, but you are so detailed, and I'm so impressed with you.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed with your coaching because ahead of time, you actually asked those questions, those self-questions. How would I want someone to approach me? What type of experience would I want to have? How would I want my guests to be treated? How would I want invites to look? What would motivate me to have a party? So you self-examined, and then you and Brian came out with this. It's phenomenal. I thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I can honestly tell you guys that people will show up all the time. Every party, people bring their invites. They're literally walking in the door with them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Glad you're keeping them and looking at them.
Well, and to go off of that, Marni, I just went to a cabbie party to meet people with my neighbor. I booked a party with a cabbie person because that's what I do. I book parties with people because I want to help people and meet people as well. She gave me beautiful invitations.
That's awesome.
And she said, people get Facebook invites all the time and it's not personal. We find at Cabby, and they're a good company, that invitations make the difference. So that was an aha for me the other night before you even started speaking to me about this. So great. Okay. Karis, you want to have something to say there?
Yes. This is amazing. This was amazing. And I know when you were talking about you got all those messages for like an online different direct sales party, I think I might have got those same messages. I got like the script copied like 7 times from 7 different people. And I was like, okay, this is weird. And just, we don't want to be like that. We want to have that personal connection. And I think this is huge, and really like, just the details, like you said, like when you first said you mailed invites, I like cringed. I was like, I don't want to, but I need to because people love it. And when they go to like my bridal shower, they brought their invites too. Like when they came, when they got them in the mail, just because they brought them with them everywhere that they went. And so I just love that. And I think it's huge when you book them 2 to 3 weeks out, so you can have the time to really love your hostess and love your guests. And if they can't come, mailing them like a coupon in the mail, like that is so thoughtful. Yeah. And people are just like, are going to be with you forever, Marni, because they love your customer service, and you have put so much care into loving them for their support. That's huge. I have a couple of questions. So, as we're like just starting this like party process and mailing invites and all this kind of stuff, have you ever done this like with a referral? Because like with like her bio, she might not have tried Mary Kay or might not, know you very well. So is there a different process with a referral or just kind of like the same, or how do you kind of build that relationship with her?
That is such a good question. So again, my way and my mindset is not the only way on this, but how I got this going was by my current customers. So I'm like a really big fan of like the Linda Tupin like process where she books a facial, builds a one-on-one relationship, and then books the party. So yeah, how I got this process going was definitely with my current customers. One process that I have that has always worked for me, I've always been able to get bookings this way, is offering my customers that have birthdays for the month $100 in free product just by hosting a little birthday party. So literally in January, that was a big part of just getting the party train going. But it's definitely been with my current customers. And then what's kept the train going is my reaching out to my birthday customers like in February and March, and then booking parties from my parties. Those two things have kept the party train going for me. And then definitely as I do get a referral and I am one-on-one with someone, then booking the party from that one-on-one facial.
Yes. Agree. It is about relationships. And if you don't have a relationship with a person, very rarely do I think a party will hold with them. It's a very rare occurrence that does. Cars, did you have any other questions?
Yes. Okay. So when you're at like they have the party, you're at the party, there's like 6 people there and you want people to book their own follow-up parties, do you like incentivize the hostess or the guests for getting follow-up parties to book, or how do you, I'm sure they just love you and love your experience because they had that same experience with this party, but is there anything special you do to get people to book follow-up parties?
That's a good question. It just happens. I mentioned, just like we're taught, follow-up appointment, color consultation 7 times during the facial. And then I give them like a little heads up that they can do their color consultation one-on-one with me, or they can book it and have a similar experience, just like the hostess today, by sharing that appointment with some family members or friends that don't already have a consultant. And then during the party, I actually asked the hostess, so Sherry, what was your experience like in hosting this party? And so she's then selling the experience. So then it just happens in the individual close. After I close them on the products, then going into giving them the option. And I really have like the mindset where I feel so like passionate about this. And I'm like so excited to gift them free product that I really don't feel like I have to like sell them on booking a party from the party. I literally go in with the mindset like, okay, you can do it one-on-one, or you can, do this and get a boatload of free product. I do give, if they book a party on the spot, because I wanted to get the party train going, I do give a travel roll-up bag if they book a party on the spot as a gift. Do I have to do that long-term? I don't know. I don't know if that makes a big difference, but we're always taught to put our money where our weakness is, and I wanted to get this going. So that was my thought process behind like the free gift.
Smart. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Thank you. Trisha, thoughts, questions?
Okay, first of all, I wrote on my paper in big words, Marni, revolutionary. And I was having a little conversation with myself just yesterday about, okay, where's my weak link right now? I'm getting a lot of bookings. I'm not seeing as many people as I want to be seeing, so I'm not getting the results I want. So I kind of started a thought process about what do I need to tweak? And then, this landed on my desk and just now, and I'm like, wow, that was way too easy, but thank you.
That's awesome.
I'm super excited to implement this because I think it's just something I can do better. So thank you for sharing all of your work and your wisdom. I appreciate that a lot. 2 little detail-y questions just for my head.
Uh-huh.
Hostess survey that you is it just you asking them those questions, or is there a thing that you're showing them or giving them or having them fill out?
So just once they get the yes and then they get the date, then I literally just text them those 4 questions and say, do you mind answering these so I can put these fun facts about you on the invite?
Okay. And then if your hostess is going to do essentially kind of facilitate your profiling for you, are you just basically giving her that a similar little pocket of questions and having her text her friends and whatever, and like
got it.
video on for you? Okay, fabulous. Like I said, just little detaily things.
Yes. Yeah, no problem.
So if you were going to translate this skill to some consultants and you were trying to, like, because I know that I get all excited about something and then it's like, I can be overwhelming kind of, because I'm like, you guys, this is the best thing since sliced bread, because I do believe it is. But is there a step process that you might like start with this and then add this rather than the whole ball of wax at once? What are your thoughts about that?
So I would recommend that you personally get it going first. So I didn't even like train literally, I plan on sharing this video with my consultants. They kind of know some of this has been happening because, at like my party in November, I posted a picture of me sending out invites on our Facebook page. And I said, this is something that I'm currently working on. This is like a laser focus of mine, is to maximize my moments and to get better at coaching and pre-profile at my parties. And then in January, literally, I'm sure they're so like old with it. I would, every party I held, I posted on our group Facebook page, a picture of the party. So sometimes I'd take a selfie with me and the guests. Sometimes I just take a picture of the guests. So every party. And then I would also share some of my results with the consultants. I didn't overshare because I didn't want to come across like bragging or whatever. And I also, you guys, have been laser focused on bringing my consultants to my parties. So they're seeing a difference just by me inviting them to my parties. So that has kind of been like the process of it all. And they're definitely seeing, okay, something is different just with what I've shared. So now that I'm comfortable with it and I feel like I can like confidently train them, now I will share it. A few of my reds, I have trained a few of my reds on this. And what I'm currently doing is working closely with a few of my reds on parties that they have going. So just kind of closely walking them through next steps. Does that make sense?
Yes, that helps a ton. And I knew step 1 would be, implement it myself, of course, but I like the idea of almost like a little pilot group that I work with first and then taking it out further. That makes a lot of sense. So thank you. Okay. There's a couple of questions from the audience on our Voxer that I'm going to read to you, okay?
Okay.
So Jackie asks, do you communicate to your hostess that you would like her to invite people who don't already have a consultant? And if so, how do you word that? Is that wording included on the invite for her to use to invite people?
So I communicate that when the party, first of all, the initial booking, when I'm saying, would you be up for hosting a party? I would love to gift you with $100 in free product. This is basically what it would be like. So I mention it in there. And then once I get the yes and the date is picked, then I mention it again when I say I'm losing my train of thought. So I mention it again a second time. So I do mention it 2 times.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for clarifying that.
Can I piggyback on that, Tricia, before you ask the next question?
Yeah, sure, Nikki.
Okay. So your hostess plan, I'm sure people are thinking about this. Is it just $100 free?
That's it.
How many people do they have to have?
So initially I just say, I have like a smooth process that I'll walk you through. And this was one of the reflections that when I was like asking myself what I would want to experience, I would not want my family or friends to have to buy a certain amount for me to get a certain amount in free. So I give just for the sake of giving. So Yeah, they don't have to have, as long as they're willing to play ball with me through this process, they don't have to have a certain amount of people. I've never had less than, the least I've had is 3, the hostess plus 3.
Okay.
And that was only like one time.
Okay. Is that good, Nikki? I hope so. You look frozen on my screen. Okay.
We lost you, Marn. So $100 free travel roll-up bag for booking the party.
Yep.
And then do you give anything for 2 or more bookings from their party?
No.
Okay.
Just $100 and free.
They just want.
So do you teach your consultants that same hostess plan, or do you give them a different hostess plan if they're kind of new and
that's a good question. I kind of give them the option. So I'm a big fan for like newer consultants of 75 for 35, or $50 in free product. So I kind of give them the option and let them choose.
Cool. Okay, there is one more question, and it had to do with something that you said about your change at the very beginning of your parties, where you are doing kind of your introduction prior to the party through your invite process, so you're not doing your iStory. Are you still covering some of those other upfront pieces like Mary Kay Ash and domestic abuse and the foundation and those things still in your parties?
Yes. And for those of you that like are my coaching school friends, I just ask a lot more questions. So instead of saying, this is all of these facts about Mary Kay, I say, so when you guys think of Mary Kay, what do you think of? So I turn a lot of the facts more so into questions and keep it very brief.
Love it. Thank you. Okay, those were our questions from the audience that I saw.
Wow. Okay. I had a little question too. You send the hostess an invite to her own party.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I hope you all caught that. I think you all need to watch this again, just so you know, because there's a lot of facts in here, but I think you go over it all, but you send it to your hostess, and then you're asking her, hey, have your friends talked to you? Have they gotten the invitation in the mail? So you are really partnering with the hostess. Like you guys are working together to make this fabulous for her. That's everything that I'm getting from this. And I loved how you said, when you are just giving her the option, would you like to give me her numbers, or would you rather communicate with her? You are creating trust. You've said that word over and over again, but that, Marni, like you've said, in this day and age, people are just not going to trust us unless we build that trust and we're actually listening to them and finding out what they need. This is genius. And I know this was a lot of work and this was a lot of reflection. And I'm going to cry because, you know, I talk to other people who I've been working with a lot of real estate agents lately, because for some reason I live by like 17 real estate agents or something, and insurance agents, and they love what they do, but they don't share ideas. They're cutthroat. And they smile on the outside. They all tell me that, and they go to their conventions and they get recognition, but not one person is going to share these ideas because someone else will take their business. Yeah. And so I just want all of you consultants and directors who are watching this to know that this is also what makes Mary Kay different, is you putting your blood, sweat, and tears into this thought process and be willing to get on here and share it with us so that we can be better as well. So I just think this is phenomenal. Do you have any closing thoughts for us, Marni?
Hashtag we are better together.
That's right. Well, for those of you going to the Madison Career Conference, you don't want to miss the training on Friday afternoon, because Marni will be one of your fabulous trainers. And celebrating Nikki, who's going to be training in Houston that Friday afternoon as well. Wow, better together. Okay, you guys, this is one that will definitely go on to the Facebook page, on to the HeidiGelzer.com. And Kim has already uploaded all of those documents into a Dropbox, which will be out to everybody in addition to where it's on your Voxer. Marni, revolutionary. Thank you so much. Love you.
Love you guys.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.